I have asked something like this on a test before. It did not go well. It made me sad. However, I typically don't ask them like that anymore, but I will be inspired and probably tempted again at some point. I suspect not this semester. Unless there's a groundswell for a problem like this. Good. Aaron, do you speak for everybody?
What?
You're shaking your head, no, you don't want a problem like this?
But it's like a bonus question, like extra credit question.
Silva
My
said
extra credit questions
20
are
minute extra
more
credit
interesting.
question.
Sorry?
Says Silva said no extra credit.
Yeah, I do throw extra credit on tests often. Sometimes I forget.
I think you should do this for an extra credit question. Can you choose something easier for the extra credit question?
My extra credit questions on tests typically are, what do the 4 things have in common?
What?
Or what are the 3 things? I gave you 3 things. My favorite one was, what do the following 3 things have in common? Cheese slices, dating service, clients, and 45s.
What is 45?
Well, those 3 things I just told you, dating app clients or dating service clients, cheese slices, and 45s all have something in common. Now, I suspect most of you are too young to understand the 45 reference, but the other 2 you might be able to pick out. Yeah, singles. The cheese slice is a single. Dating service, dating app client is the person who's single. And 45s, because you used to buy records, you could buy the LPs or the smaller ones, which were ran at 45 RPMs. They were called singles, even though there were 2 songs, one on each side. Anyway, I did that one because I had a student that semester who was about my age, and I figured just throwing out that person. Another one I asked was, it was part of a dialogue. One person said, it's a bit like being drunk. The second person said, what's so bad about being drunk? And then extra credit was, what's the response to that? Yeah. The best answer, in my opinion, is still, ask a glass of water. Okay. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, by the way.
I'm watching the movie right now. Read the book like 3 years ago.
Was that?
I read the book 3 years ago.
Yeah, I've listened to the radio play many, many times. All right, I'm gonna say that we're done with 3. So, let's get some dates up here.
That's all the chapter 3?
Pardon?
That's all the chapter 3?
Chapter 3 is just 2-dimensional stuff of chapter 2. I mean, as you go through the master set, you go, oh, okay, here's another variation of the problem. But projectile, I will tell you, on the first test, there will be a projectile motion problem. Okay? And there will be either car, ball, or box moving on a 1-dimensional line with certain initial velocity, acceleration, etc. And there'll be the plus minus 0 problem. And then anything else that inspires me. So why don't we say the 10th homework quiz 3, master set 3 on the 12th, 3, 12th. All right, we're going to be starting. I can touch on basically new material today, but won't get very far. So this will be new material here and here. Question is, how much new material do you want before the first test, which is just on chapters 2 and 3? We can make the test earlier, or it's going to be on a Friday, so you got the larger time. Any preference?
Later.
Later?
Later. The 21st.
That's just chapters 2 and 3.
It is called test 1A, and then there's test 1B. It's not called those because it's really half a test in terms of credit. It's called test 1A and 1B because initially the first test was chapters, in essence, 2 through 6. But that was a lot of material, and so then I broke it down into 2 different tests. So if you're looking at old tests and you see test 1, that's the combination of the first 6 chapters, or 2 through 6. Maybe some 1, I don't think so. And then, so test 1A is just the first half of that, test 1B is the second half of that material. But test 1A counts as much as test 1B, which counts as much as test 3 and test 4. Yes.
This is probably on the syllabus somewhere, but due to test corrections of any sort?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as test corrections go, if you get an A on the test, you can bring it up to an A+. If you failed the test, you can bring it up to a C. And then that basically sets up a linear relationship between what you got and the best you can get with corrections.
What about for the quizzes? Is it only for tests?
Only for tests.
Okay.
Yeah, there are enough quizzes that it's probably worthwhile for you to figure out what you've missed, but probably not worthwhile in terms of grading it because it's probably not going to make much difference.
Oh, so Master Set 2 is due the 5th?
Master Set 2 is due a week from today.
Sorry, because I saw Blackboard and said it was due today.
Yeah, the due dates in Blackboard are just things that I had to put in. They would not accept my syllabus unless I had specific dates. So I put something down.
Wait. I said 2 or 3.
Master Set 2 is due a week from today. Master Set 3 is due 2 weeks from today. The test is 3 weeks from today, or 3 weeks from Friday.
Why is the quiz before the master sets due?
Well, the quiz is based upon the textbook problems.
Okay.
The master set are based upon the old test problems. The general consensus is that the textbook problems are easier than the former test problems,
Okay.
so it gives you a little extra time.
Okay.
Now, you might be different, and you might find the master set's easier.
Okay.
They are done at home as opposed to in here with a time limit.
Yeah.
But
Next thing, are these tests open note at all?
Nope.
But you give the equations.
If you look at the old test, look at the first page, you can basically see the equations that I give you.
Okay.
Especially the later ones. The earlier ones, we had a different textbook.
Okay.
But we've been using OpenStax for 10 years now, so I just, for the most part, I do a cut and paste from one of the old tests for the new test, because those equations shouldn't change. Although during the lockdown, I did a cut and paste, and did a cut and paste from the calculus version and not the non-calculus version.
Probably have fun with that.
They adapt.
I meant to ask you, you bald? I said you bald?
All right. Apparently, we will not at least touch on, oh, okay, here we go. We'll touch on the next topic. What is a force?
Something that reacts to something else.
That would be an object. An object would react.
Like, I'm putting force on the chair
How?
while pushing it.
There we go. There's one. Or,
Push or pull.
yep, there you go.